It all started too quietly. Unusually so. He came home at his usual time, no words, no rush, just walked past me like a shadow. Not a glance, not a sound, only a breath, short, tired, almost breaking. I heard him take off his shoes. The door to the bedroom closed with a soft thud. Silence. It always followed him, first gently, then completely. It swallowed the space, leaving only whispers, footsteps, breathing, heartbeat. I stood in the kitchen, watching the window fog up, while the tea steeped. His favorite kind. The one that smells like burned wood and something older than memory. When I entered the room, he was already lying down, face hidden in the pillow, wearing that soft t-shirt that always smells like sunshine. He looked asleep, but his breathing was too steady. As if he was pretending. I walked over slowly. Set the cup down on the nightstand. He didn't move. I watched him, and something inside me tightened. There was something in him that pulled me in. Strength wrapped in vulnerability. You only see it when he thinks no one is watching. I didn't plan to sit down. But I did. Not because I wanted to, because I couldn't not. Something about the stillness, it wasn't peace. It was something else. Something unfinished. A word we never said, a touch we never allowed, a moment paused too long. I stayed. Not because I had no choice, but maybe because in that moment, he was the only one who truly felt me. Let me take a short pause. Tell me in the comments where you're listening from. Have you ever experienced something similar? I'd love to feel your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's next. And now, I continue. He wasn't mine. And I knew that. From the very beginning. But the truth is, I didn't belong to anyone either. Not really. Our official relationship, the one people saw, had long become more of a stage set. Everything looked right, dinners, conversations, shared plans. But something inside that picture was cracking. Quietly, but deeply. He was my partner's son. Not by blood, and that matters. But close enough that the world expected me to keep my distance. The question is, whoever drew that line? And why was it so invisible until you were already standing on it? That evening, when I sat beside him, something shifted. Not because anything happened, but because something unspoken became undeniable. We had crossed a line without even moving. It just vanished. He opened his eyes. Slowly. Quietly. And looked at me like he'd been waiting. Not surprised. Not confused. Just, steady. Like someone who knew exactly what was unfolding. I knew he wasn't sleeping. He knew I wasn't just passing by. We didn't say a single word. But the air in the room got heavier. Not with tension, not the kind that leads to arguments, but the kind that holds a secret. A silent exchange too full to name. He didn't say, stay. But he didn't look away. Didn't stop me. He just watched. And in that look, there was everything, question, permission, risk, and something much deeper. I stayed. In that moment, I didn't even feel guilt. Only a strange sense of relief, like something buried deep inside me had finally been seen. I hadn't done anything wrong, not technically. And yet, everything inside me trembled. Not with fear, but with the weight of what we were both silently agreeing to. How easy it is to lose your way when you finally see someone for who they are, not who they're supposed to be. Morning came without knocking. As if it knew we weren't expecting it. Light filtered through the blinds in soft lines, and everything in the house looked normal. Too normal. Like it was trying to pretend nothing had happened. But I knew. I felt it in my breath, in my hands, in the silence between my thoughts. The room still smelled faintly of mint, and something else. Unnamed. Lingering. Yesterday. I sat in the kitchen, the same cup in my hands. The tea had long gone cold. It didn't warm me anymore. It reminded me. He came downstairs a while later. Calmly. A little too calmly. No words. No questions. Just that glance, brief, almost nothing. But in that one moment, I saw it all. A suggestion. A spark. The idea of more. Of continuation. But I had already chosen. Or maybe, the choice had already happened to me. I wasn't choosing between two people. I was realizing I didn't belong beside either of them. Not because of them. Because of me. I stared into the tea, hoping for an answer. Or at least something to hold on to. But there was nothing there. Just silence. Then the door opened. Quietly. Without drama. He walked in, the man I never brought the tea to last night. The one who trusted me. Who looked at me with calm belief, day after day. Who never questioned. And I betrayed him, not loudly, not carelessly. Silently. He smiled, a tired, genuine smile. Asked how I slept. I said, fine. Too quickly. Too easily. He didn't notice. Or maybe he did, and decided not to ask. We sat to eat. An ordinary day. Ordinary people. But the tea had no taste. And I was no longer the same. Sometimes silence screams louder than any truth. And some choices don't bring resolution. Just stillness. And the weight of knowing. Tell me in the comments, what do you think about this story? Have you ever faced a moment like this, where a choice felt right but left something unresolved? Your thoughts mean the world to me. I read every message, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you. If you'd like to hear more stories like this, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, so you won't miss what's coming next. And yes, something new is always on the way. Wishing you a calm, gentle day. And if you've listened all the way through, write this in the comments, the tea's gone cold, but I stayed. That's how I'll know you were truly with me, until the very last word.